emanate from the heart of Sayyidina Muhammad, and the teachings come out, and in our lives we come across the hadith, and it gives this joyous understanding how the hadith that people read is the teachings coming live from the heart of Sayyidina Muhammad through this way. And this is the immense blessings of Allah guiding. Means there's guidance through paper where somebody sits and hopes they read enough and come across the right hadith in their life. This is the way to pray, this is the way to prepare for this is the way to prepare for that, but along every day you're missing everything. And then there's the way of following, which way of Prophet established for his holy companions that follow. And then they became the tabi'een, the ones whom followed, and then those whom followed the holy companions, and then the tabi'een, the ones who followed from ihtibā. So life was based on you would find a teacher, a guide, and you would follow. And based on how you followed, you were incorporating those teachings into life. Versus the one on the right saying, I didn't want a teacher, and begin to read, but every day doing something or not incorporating something beneficial and missing and missing and missing. And in these days we don't know how many days you have to achieve something. And what Allah wajib al-taqleed means it's wajib in Ahl Sunnah wal Jama'ah, in the way of the people of majority, is to taqleed, to follow a guide, to follow a teacher. By following that teacher, by following and imitating, you're incorporating his knowledge by your actions. You see that he used the siwak, immediately you copy and you use the siwak. Don't be stubborn in your nafs where you're looking and you're still not copying. Means you're not accomplishing the way of taqleed, and you identifying that your nafs is so strong that you're choosing not to follow. So that also has its own sickness, because you see many people they don't follow what the shaykh is doing. Then you have to be, if you're that one and those people, you have to be the one who look at yourself, I'm not following. You're accountable for what you're seeing, what you're hearing, and the knowledges that have been given to you. And there's many hadiths from Prophet. We're not people that have to keep reciting the holy hadiths, but it's always beautiful to come across that Prophet said, Ibn Mas'ud reported that Prophet the son of Adam will not be dismissed from the Lord Most High on the day of resurrection until he has been questioned about 5 matters: his life and how he lived it, his youth and how he spent it, his wealth, how he earned it, and then how he spent it, and how he acted upon his knowledges. Each one of these is in the teaching. That when we encapsulate the tariqah teachings, our teachings from our guide, because even within the tariqah many different understandings, but from what we learn from our Mawlana and what we've implemented upon people and asked them to follow in taqleed, to follow this way, is all based on this understanding that the life you have and how you live it. Your life is not your own, Allah is going to ask you about it. You say, I do what I want. Okay, then you're going to meet Allah, because the shaykh is a preparation for your judgment day. If you're hoping that the shaykh is there and involved in your life to intercede for you, means he's the preparation and intermediary of this dimension, that he prepares us for our meeting with Allah in the Divinely Presence, the questioning, and to the presence of Sayyidina Muhammad, our life and how we lived it, and our youth and how we spent it. Means they're telling us to keep our faith in action. If you have iman, act upon it. That's why then the teaching is coming, is don't just sit onto the couch, don't just do what you think you want to do. If you have a faith within you, it has to manifest. So how is your faith manifesting? Is it making a beatific garden of events? Imagine someone who professes they have faith and they act upon nothing, means no garden was made, no beatific actions manifested from that faith. When Allah guides and puts into the tariqahs that follow this guide, this way, you find that He's in pushing each aspect of these hadiths, and you'll come across many hadiths in our lives, and it's all the tariqah. And the benefit of it is that Prophet expanded it and gave more understanding in the tariqahs. Life is not yours, you do what you want and you do whatever you can, your life will be questioned. The guides are preparing you for a great audit in which Allah will ask, what did you do with the life that I gave you? Say, Ya Rabbi, with my earlier days it was in jahiliyyah and ignorance and maybe I didn't do everything I was supposed to, but you inspired me, and when I came to the guidance, Ya Rabbi, every day I tried to do this, we did this, we inspired people to do these things. I went out and gave food, I gave water, I did the articles, I did the teachings, I propagated the Muhammadan realities according to the guidance of my shaykhs. These are the questions, because you have to have an action. Your questions that will be asked upon the servant, they have to have an action as a reply. And glad tidings for those whom bring their youth into the way, because immediately Allah will say, mashaAllah, how they spent their youth. I spent my youth drumming and making salawats upon Sayyidina Muhammad. I wrote the knowledges of my shaykh, and many of our youth have the books filled with teachings. Those books will be an eternal source of light for them on their journey. Maybe they leave after a few years and come back after a few years later. We don't know what Allah's written as a journey for people, but the hasanat and blessings can never be taken away until the person begins backbiting and losing every goodness. But if they don't backbite, those blessings are an eternal dressing upon the servant, and that hasanat and that light can't be taken away by anyone. So then you see that this is all the inspirations of the tariqah. Make our lives count for something, put our faith into action. How we made our money and how we spent it, we're accountable. For the money that we earn, that it was halal, it was not in the harm of people, it was not to the detriment of people, and how we spent it. The amassing of money, it becomes detrimental to people. Those whom amass monies not for the purpose of building a masjid, not for the purpose of building zawiyas or to do spiritual projects, they just amass money that could be used in the way of Prophet, in the ways of tariqah. So it means we're accountable in our lives for the rizq that we earn and how we spend it. And then the tariqah comes in guidance and makes a charity. And say, because we don't want to be supporting that which may be questionable and people that may be questionable, alhamdulillah, this is my shaykh's charity and this is the ones that we're going to support. We're going to give the food, we're going to give the orphanage support, we're going to make the wells, we're going to do the qurbans and zabiyas. So then our life again is again self-sufficient. We are earning our rizq in our community, we're giving our charity, we're being of service, and the shaykh is continuously guiding us on these realities.